I'm generally not a fan of animated movies, but the story and the lore behind that character. The infamous bloody lady doomed to bathe in the blood of young girls in a desperate bid to preserve her youth forever is one of those dark folk tales that sticks with you. When I came across The Bloody Lady, this 1980s Slovak animated take on the story, I decided to give it a shot despite my usual aversion to the medium, to animated movies. The film retells the haunting folk tale of Countess Bathory, a once kind, noble woman who spirals into horror driven by vanity and the occult promise of eternal beauty through the blood of her innocent victims. It opens with a charmed life and descends into the nightmare we all know. There are some generally touching scenes early on that capture a sense of lost innocence, and the dark imagery, bold torment, and gothic surrealism does land with a somewhat chilling punch in places. What impressed me about this animated film was how the film tells its story with no dialogue whatsoever. It flows clearly and is surprisingly easy to follow, relying on strong visuals and atmosphere to carry the narrative without ever feeling confusing. That's no small feat for any movie. Unfortunately, that's where my praise ends for the film. The animation itself is rough and primitive in a way that didn't work for me at all. The simple lines, flat colours, and cartoonish style clashed with the too heavy with it clashed too heavy with the grim subject matter, pulling me out of the horror scenes instead of embracing them. And most scenes dragged on and felt just really boring, failing to hold my attention, even during the more darker moments within the animated film. What should have been a compelling descent into madness for the character often played out as tedious and visually unengaging for me. I wanted to love this for the Baffery legend alone, but the execution left me cold. If you're deeply into experimental or folk art style animation, you might appreciate the ambition here. But anyone else, especially animation skeptics like me, this one's a miss. I just didn't really like this at all. I couldn't engage with it, and plus of the way the animation was set up, it was very amateurish and, as I said, primitive, and the animation wasn't really good at all. I understand the message it was trying to portray, and the message did come clear in the movie. It just wasn't a very entertaining one, and with the bad cartoon style. As I said, my rating for this movie is 1 star out of 5.